All right, this is 7.4, sum and the difference identities. So what does that mean? That means that the angle here, okay, let's see whether or not my pen is working. Okay, so this angle here, not only the single angle, so either is one angle subtract another angle, or this could be one angle add on to another angle, and then the total angle, then that is a sine or cosine. So instead of, if we know the, like if this is a 30 degree plus a 37 degree, sure, you know, we can add them together and then seek the sine value. However, if just in a very abstract sense here is only A and B, then there's a formula. Now, of course, the most important thing or most interesting thing here is how to derive the formula, right? If I do that, the video is going to be too long. And also on YouTube, there are a couple of really good proof of the identities. So I'd rather any of you that interested in the proof of the formula to go onto YouTube. I highly encourage you to take a look at all this, how these come about. So if not the case, then here you go. This is these two parts. That in this section that you needed to be able to use them to solve problems. Now this is sine A n plus B. So that, subtract, cosine, cosine, tangent, tangent. And then this is called even and odd functions. We've mentioned about this before. So sine of the negative angle equals to negative sine that angle. Now take a look at that. This is interesting, but this is we touched upon in both grade 10 and 11. So the sine and the cosine, they differ by pi over 2. So you take a look at your basic graph for sine and cosine, you can see that as well. All right. So sine is here, it's a cosine and tangent and a cotangent in that same relationship, differed by pi over 2. Now similarly cosecant, secant, and yeah, so that's it. So I'm just going to quickly go through all these examples to mention about the important things such as strategy here. So now, for example, if you wanted to evaluate a 105, right? So then you can use this, break this 105 into 60 plus 45 and use the formula, and here you go. All right, so then this big thing, simplify the tangent, subtract that, plus tangent plus 1 plus tangent multiplied by that. So use the formula, and then you got this. From this whole bunch, formula-wise, that just means this is tangent this angle, subtract the other angle. And then here you do the math, and you got pi over 4, and that is 1. So from here, you simplify to simply just a 1. Okay. Now this question, we've done this question many, many times. So because you got sine A here, so you got this should be the y, and then this is your r. So then from here, you just needed to know how much is x, right? So you get this x here. Now similarly, b is the same thing. You got, so this is your y, this is your x, and this is r, and then you just needed to calculate how much is the y. So here you go, the y is that. And so the reason why is because you needed to find sine A. Here sine is given, but you need to find sine B. So you needed to know the x. sorry, you need to know cosine A, so that's why you need to know the x. Now here you have a cosine B, so here you have a cosine B is given, but you need to know the sine B, so then here you go. Now you want to have this, and you have the sine B. And then your numbers out here, and you calculate it, and then that equals to that. Now this one is, now you have a sine this plus a sine. So then you right away you see this is total of the two angles. There's a difference between the two angles, and then use the formula, right? Use the formula. Then you got this one plus this bunch, and then add on, same thing, add on to this. So as soon as you write it out, you could see this is negative, this is positive. So this two cancels. Therefore, you get 2 sine x cosine pi over 4 equals -1. And then cosine pi over 4 is equals to that. And then you solve, then you got the sine x equals to this. And then we have mentioned it before, because the x is in from 0 to 2 pi, there's two solutions. This is the major important thing. One of the important thing, two solutions. All right. And then proven this. Well, this is exactly the same thing, same as just this one, right? So you got two angles, the sum of the two angles, the difference of the two angles, and then in the end, you got this 2 of this. So then here, the sum of the two angles, the difference of two angles, and in the end, you got the sum of the two sine A and sine B. So same thing, you break it out, and then you get to here, and that means this one equals that one, okay? Now this question note is just this, you needed to know the general form. Now again, this part, use the formula. So this is the difference between two angles for tangent is this bunch. And another thing to be noted is that the tangent pi, that equals to 0. The tangent pi, that equals to 0. And then you got this one here. So it's simple as tangent x equals to √3. And pay attention about how to write in the general form. Now, next question. This one, phase, you got to get this amplitude, period, and phase shift. So you got to put them into one sine function, right? Or sine function, cosine function. But after you organize it, it becomes a sine function. The only thing is note here, it is factor of the two, and then you got everything. And we have done this in previous chapter many times. And then the example 8, you might just want to do by yourself. And we're done of 7.4. Now, most important thing is when we get into the exercise set, not only you should have the formula sheet beside you, so you don't have to constantly try to remind yourself, flip to the pages to go back to all the formula to see how you can apply onto these questions. So if there's any problems or any questions, and please stop by, and then we can practice them together.